Now, selfless, adventurous and caring are just some of the words used to describe British aid worker Chris Parry, who's been killed in Ukraine while attempting to rescue people on the front line.
Chris and his colleague Andrew Bagshaw were reported missing earlier this month. We're joined now by Claire Anna Mitchell.
You can imagine the anxiety of their families when they went out there, but the statements released from both families say how proud they were that they
the work they were doing, the risks,
Amazing. It is at 20 minutes past 7 and Amazon workers are staging their first ever UK strike today. Ben is on the picket line. Time now at 26 minutes past 7 to get the news, the travel and the weather where you are this morning.
Hello, this is Breakfast with Nina Warhurst and Sally Nugent.
Good morning. Now, disruption on the rail networks has been causing major issues for thousands of passengers. As well as strike action, delays and cancellations have also been blamed on a lack of drivers.
Operating companies say the shortage is in part due to the pandemic and the length of time it takes for drivers to qualify. Our reporter Gemma Dillon has been to see how one company is training new recruits. Well, problems on the rail network will be among the issues discussed at a meeting of Northern business and political leaders later on today.
Well, the group will also call for the concept of levelling up to be enshrined in UK law. The Mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Byrne, levelling up, reallocation of funding, better transport for the North. It all sounds very familiar. What could change today?
You know, it's really not good enough at all. And, you know, we saw last week where there's this process of from on high in Whitehall, winners and losers, or you can have funding, but you can't. That's not the way to level up the country.
What would you say to people who are watching this in the south, the southeast, the southwest, perhaps, who've been allocated?
What would you say to people who said it starts here? It doesn't. People might say it's up to people in the north to work smarter. It's up to you. You've been Mayor of Greater Manchester for 5 years to improve things here. Generally, the IPPR North paper that you referred to said we would need to invest nationally 390. So everybody deserves more investment. That's what people in other parts of the country would say.
And I know there'll be people.
You said the last time you stood for Mayor, you were going to be hammering on the door of Westminster. You know, and I imagine that you're today saying that's basically what you're doing today.
Yes, I've confirmed I'll be standing for.
There is a vacancy at Everton, I've heard.
It is at 20 to 8. Now, scientists have found that vulnerable people who've had a third COVID vaccine have significantly more protection against the virus than if they'd had just 1 or 2 jabs.
It's hoped the research will give renewed confidence to those at higher risk of infection, as Fiona Lambden reports.
Amazing what a difference it makes, isn't it? Coming up to 7:45, John joins
Morning,
us.
all.
Let's go straight to Carol now, because the weather has been a little bit upside down the last couple of days, hasn't it, Carol? Now, humans can apparently understand gestures used by chimpanzees to communicate with each other in the wild. That's according to new research.
Scientists from the University of St Andrews asked volunteers to watch videos and translate the animal's sign language.
The results indicate that this form of communication might be the origin of our own language. Here's our science correspondent, Victoria Gill. I love that bit where they were demanding food just by moving the chin.
Yeah, we've seen that with kids. We're not as clever and evolved as we think we are we?
No, definitely not.
It is just gone 10 to 8. Now, BBC correspondents are used to grilling politicians and business leaders, but now they're the ones in the hot seat in the new BBC Three show, Flip the Script.
The programme sees social media stars, TV personalities and drag queens discuss trending topics with experts to make the news more accessible to different audiences. Have a look. I think it's the info that we all need, isn't it?
I know I do.
Yeah, you don't. BBC's economic editor Faisal Islam. And do stay with us. Why would you go anywhere? Headlines are coming right up.